The spray paint hissed like a cornered snake as it slashed across the fresh concrete ramp, turning Logan's hard-won path into a battlefield of neon green graffiti. Snitch ramp. Karen's face twisted in manic triumph, her pearls swinging like a noose, oblivious to the squad car screeching up the cul-de-sac behind her. "This ends now. You freeloading queer," she spat. But her words choked off as handcuffs snapped around her wrists. Logan's 911 call had been faster than her hate. Logan gripped the arms of his wheelchair, the rubber treads of his tires biting into the dew-slicked grass as he wheeled backward from the chaos unfolding on his driveway. His heart hammered like a freight train derailing in his chest, each beat echoing the raw betrayal that had simmered in this godforsaken suburb for months. Gabriel's hand clamped down on his shoulder from behind, a lifeline in the storm, warm, steady, the kind of touch that said, "I've got you," without needing words. But even as the cops hauled Karen away, her shrieks of, "It's my neighborhood," fading into the crisp December dawn, Logan couldn't shake the image burned into his retinas. That vile green scrawl defacing the ramp he'd fought tooth and nail to install, the one that let him roll into his own damn home without feeling like a prisoner in his body. It was supposed to be a fresh start. 3 years ago, Logan Hayes had wheeled into Willow Creek Estates on the outskirts of Raleigh, North Carolina, chasing the American dream his physical therapist swore existed beyond the sterile walls of rehab centers. Paralyzed from the waist down after a drunk driver turned his senior year road trip into a nightmare, Logan had clawed his way back, first with metal braces and sheer spite, then with a settlement check that bought this modest ranch-style house. The HOA covenants promised community harmony, but what they really meant was blend in or get out. And Logan, with his rainbow flag bumper sticker on the adapted van and the occasional overnight guest who wasn't exactly family, he stuck out like a glitch in their manicured matrix. Gabriel Ruiz had been the glitch's silver lining. They'd met at the community pool that first sweltering July, Logan dunking a basketball from his chair in the shallow end, Gabriel lifeguarding with that easy grin that could disarm a room. Gab was a transplant from Miami, all sun-kissed skin and curly black hair that fell just right over his hazel eyes, working odd jobs while studying graphic design online. "You shoot like you've got springs in those wheels," Gabriel had called down from his perch, and Logan, Mitsplash, had flipped him off with a laugh that surprised even himself. By Labor Day, stolen kisses under the oak trees had turned into shared dinners of arroz con pollo and craft IPAs on Logan's porch, Gabriel's laughter chasing away the ghosts of Logan's accident like smoke from a bonfire. But Willow Creek wasn't Miami. Whispers started small. Sidelong glances at the grocery store, anonymous notes on Logan's windshield about property values. Then came the petitions led by Karen Whitaker, self-appointed queen of the HOA board, a Botoxed housewife whose idea of activism was color-coded recycling bins and passive-aggressive emails. Karen's husband, a mid-level exec at some insurance firm, kept his head down, but she wielded her clipboard like a scepter, rallying the cul-de-sac against undesirables. Logan's ramp application had been the spark. "It's an eyesore," she declared at the board meeting, her voice dripping honeyed venom. "And frankly, Logan, we all know who uses it to entertain. The word still made Logan's stomach twist. It was code for Gabriel, for the nights when Gab's truck idled in the drive too long, for the way Logan's cheeks flushed when Gab slung an arm around him at block parties. They'd kept it low-key at first, handshakes in public, texts that read like poetry in private, but love has a way of leaking out, like sunlight through cracks. Gabriel had proposed they go public last spring, over takeout from that hole-in-the-wall taqueria. "Screw 'em, Lo," "We're not hiding anymore." Logan had wanted to believe him, but the fear lingered, a shadow from the crash that stole his legs and nearly his nerve. Now, as the patrol car peeled out with Karen in the back, flashing lights painting the neighborhood in staccato blue and red, Logan felt that shadow swell. The ramp, poured just last month after a 6-month battle with the board, protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act like a fortress, was vandalized. "Attracts snitches," Karen had snarled during her tirade, convinced Logan's complaints about her illegal fence extensions made him a neighborhood narc. But it was deeper than that. Her spray can was loaded with the poison of prejudice, aimed at the man in the chair and the one who loved him. Gabriel knelt beside him, his lifeguard build folding with a gentleness that always undid Logan. "Hey, mi amor," he murmured, thumb brushing Logan's knuckles. "You okay?" Logan's nod was automatic, but his eyes betrayed him, glassy with the unshed rage of 1,000 microaggressions. "She called the cops on us last week for noise, Gab. Remember? We were just watching the game." Gabriel's jaw tightened, that protective fire flickering in his gaze. "Yeah. And now, she's the one in cuffs. Call it karma." The neighbors began to emerge like groundhogs from their burrows. Mrs. Patel from next door clutching her robe. Old Mr. Jenkins peering over his glasses. Whispers rippled. "Did you see?" Karen finally snapped. But Logan caught the undercurrent, the way eyes darted to his chair, to Gabriel's hand still on his shoulder. Solidarity, or just rubbernecking? He wheeled toward the ramp, the acrid tang of paint fumes stinging his nose. Close, the graffiti was even uglier, drips like tears frozen mid-fall, snitch bloated and accusatory. A cop approached, notepad in hand. Officer Ramirez, a stocky guy with a mustache that screamed 90s cop show. "Mr. Hayes, we got her statement. Claims it's community service. But this is straight-up vandalism. And that ramp's federally protected. We'll need photos. Your side." Logan recounted it all, voice steady as rebar. The threats at the last HOA meeting, the petition to review accommodations, Karen's parting shot as she shook the can. "She said it attracts snitches because I reported her for code violations. But really, it's because I'm gay. And disabled. And she hates both." Ramirez nodded, no judgment in his eyes, just the weary efficiency of a man who'd seen too many Karens. "We'll process her downtown. Charges should stick. Misdemeanor vandalism. Possible hate crime enhancement if the DA bites." As he jotted notes, Gabriel squeezed Logan's hand, a silent vow. But inside, Logan churned. This wasn't just paint. It was the culmination of a war he'd been fighting alone, even with Gab by his side. Betrayal stung deeper than Karen's spray, from the board members who'd signed her petitions in secret, from the friends who'd ghosted after the first rumors. By noon, the story had metastasized online. Logan's tweet, "HOA Karen spray paints my ADA ramp, calls it snitch bait. Cops say protected. She says arrested." Willow Creek War's disability rights love wins went viral faster than a cat video, retweets piling up like sandbags against a flood. Gabriel manned the phone, fielding calls from local news. WRAL wanted an interview, the News and Observer a feature. "Tell him yes," Logan said from his desk, where he'd parked to scrub the comments, half cheers, half trolls calling him a woke cripple. That night, as the power washer hummed under the floodlights, courtesy of the city crew dispatched post-complaint, Gabriel wrapped Logan in a blanket on the porch swing. The air smelled of wet concrete and pine from the woods beyond the subdivision. "You were a badass today," Gab said, nuzzling his temple. Logan leaned into him, the weight of the day dissolving in that familiar scent of citrus cologne and chlorine. "We were. But what if this is just round one? Karen's got money, connections. She'll lawyer up, spin it as self-defense against harassment." Gabriel pulled back, eyes fierce. "Then we fight smarter." Together, he kissed Logan's forehead, then his lips soft, lingering, promise etched in salt and starlight. For a moment, the world narrowed to just them. Two men against the machine, love as their only weapon. But as sirens wailed faintly in the distance, another call, another corner of America unraveling, Logan wondered if their fortress would hold. The next morning brought the backlash. Logan's inbox overflowed. Support from disability advocates. DMs from queer kids in the sticks saying, "You're my hero." But buried in the noise was the gut punch. An email from Tom Ellis, the HOA president and Logan's former poker buddy. "Logan, this is bigger than Karen. Your lifestyle is dividing us. Resign from the board, or we'll escalate." Betrayal, cold as a winter rain. Tom, who'd clapped him on the back after the accident, promising anything you need. Now this. Gabriel found him staring at the screen, face ashen. "What the hell?" Gab read over his shoulder, voice rising. "That spineless prick. We invite him over for barbecues, and he pulls this." Logan wheeled to the window, gazing at the ramp now clean, but scarred like his spine. "It's not just him. It's the whole damn system. They tolerate us until we push back." Gab knelt again, hands framing Logan's face. "Then we push harder. For us. For every kid out there thinking they have to hide." By week's end, the arrests made headlines. Karen booked on felony vandalism. Her Snitches rant caught on Logan's ring cam going viral. Protests brewed at the HOA office, rainbow flags waving alongside signs for ADA rights. Logan and Gabriel stood at the forefront, hands linked, the suburbs' fault lines cracking wide. But in the quiet hours, as Gab sketched protest posters on his tablet, Logan traced the lines of his lover's face, memorizing the map of their shared battles. Love wasn't a fairy tale. It was this raw, relentless, real. Yet doubt gnawed. What if the victory cost them everything? The house, the neighborhood, the fragile peace they'd built? As snow flurried that first winter flake, Logan whispered into Gabriel's hair, "Promise me we'll make it." Gab's reply was a vow. Every damn day, the courtroom in downtown Raleigh smelled like polished oak and stale coffee. The kind of place where justice felt like a slot machine. Pull the lever, hope for cherries. Logan adjusted his tie in the reflection of the bathroom mirror, the fluorescent buzz mocking his nerves. It had been 2 months since Karen's spray paint spree. 2 months of depositions and discovery that turned their quiet life into a legal circus. Gabriel waited outside, scrolling news alerts on his phone. Snitch ramp trending again, thanks to a TikTok from a trans activist who'd crashed the Solidarity rally. "You look sharp, counselor," Gab teased when Logan emerged, but his eyes held that undercurrent of worry, the one that said this could break us. They'd lawyered up with Elena Vasquez, a firebrand from the ACLU's Disability Rights Division. All sharp suits and sharper wit. Karen's pleading not guilty. She'd briefed them that morning over Zoom, her Brooklyn accent cutting through the static. Claims self-defense, says you provoked her with complaints. But we've got the video, the ADA violation logs, and half the neighborhood testifying against her history of harassment. Logan had nodded, but inside, the churn persisted. Provoked. As if existing in a chair was a crime. As if loving Gabriel was a loaded gun. Flashback to the rally, 6 weeks back. The air had crackled with megaphone chants and handmade signs. Ramps aren't optional. Hate has no home here. A sea of faces Logan barely recognized from block parties. Gabriel had gripped the mic first. His voice steady as he recounted the night. She didn't just paint a ramp. She painted over our right to live without fear. The crowd roared, but Logan's gaze snagged on Tom Ellis in the back. Arms crossed, that fake neutral frown. Later, at the after-party in Mrs. Patel's backyard, samosas and stories flowing like wine, Tom had cornered him. This is tearing us apart. Log. Karen's unhinged. Sure, but you're making it personal. Personal. The word had lodged like a splinter. Tom, who'd shared beers after Logan's divorce from his college sweetheart, the one that ended when she couldn't handle the chair, now weaponizing their history. It's not about you and Gab, Tom had pressed, glancing at Gabriel across the lawn, laughing with the younger crowd. It's the optics. Folks are leaving Willow Creek because of the drama. Logan had wheeled away then, the grass too soft under his tires, leaving Tom with a parting shot. Optics? Try bigotry, Tom. Yours included. Now, in the courthouse hallway, Gabriel leaned against the wall, all lean muscle and quiet strength in his button-down. Remember Miami? He said softly, pulling Logan into a quick hug that dodged prying eyes. That beach bonfire. When I told you about my abuela's stories, the ones about fighting for love in the shadows. Logan smiled faintly. The memory a balm. Salt air. Gabriel's fingers tracing constellations on his skin. Yeah. The stars don't judge. So why should we? Gab's grin flashed. Exactly. This is our bonfire. Burn bright. Court convened with the gavel's crack. Judge Harlan, a silver-haired Southerner with a reputation for fairness, scanning the room like a hawk. Karen sat ramrod straight at the defense table, her lawyer a slick weasel named Hargrove who spun yarns of community tensions. My client acted out of concern, Hargrove drawled, after repeated provocations from Mr. Hayes, whose associations have disrupted the harmony of Willow Creek. Associations. Logan's fists clenched under the table. Elena rose like a storm, her cross-examination a masterclass in evisceration. She played the ring footage, Karen's rant in high def, freeloading queer echoing off the wood panels. Gasps rippled from the gallery. Neighbors, reporters, a smattering of queer youth bust in from Durham. Your Honor, Elena pressed, this isn't mischief. It's a targeted assault on a protected class. Hargrove objected, sustained, overruled. The dance of objections a tense tango. Logan's testimony came mid-afternoon, the room shrinking to just him and Harlan's steady gaze. Take us back to that morning, Mr. Hayes, the judge prompted. Logan swallowed, voice clear. I woke to the sound of the spray can. Looked out, saw her there, Karen, shaking that paint like a cocktail mixer. She yelled about snitches, about how my ramp was a beacon for your kind to complain. He paused, the vulnerability cracking through. But it's more than the ramp. It's every time I've felt eyes on me and Gab at the pool, the mailbox. Like our love's a threat. The gallery shifted, a sob from Mrs. Patel. Gabriel's eyes locked on his, pride and pain mirrored. Harlan leaned forward. And how did that make you feel, son? Logan met the gaze. Like I was back in that car wreck, fighting for air. But this time, it's not metal, it's people. People who should know better. Recess brought chaos. Reporters swarming. Elena high-fiving Gabriel. But in the quiet alcove, Logan sagged against Gab's chest. I said too much. Made it about us. Gab cupped his face. You said enough. That's power. Their kiss was brief, fierce, a rebellion in the courthouse shadows. Afternoon dragged with character witnesses. Mrs. Patel testified to Karen's tirades. She called Logan a burden at tea once. Said his boyfriend was corrupting the youth. Mr. Jenkins grumbled about her fence wars. Then Tom Ellis took the stand. Hargrove's ace. Tom, as president, have you seen tensions rise due to Mr. Hayes' activism? Tom fidgeted, sweat beading. Well, sir, Logan's a good guy. But his relationship with Mr. Ruiz, it's drawn lines. Folks feel uncomfortable. Elena pounced. Uncomfortable? Like when you signed Karen's petition to deny the ramp. Mr. Ellis? Despite ADA law? Tom's face crimsoned. That was procedural. Procedural bigotry, she snapped. The judge banged for order, but the damage stuck. Closing arguments sealed it. Elena painting Karen as a bully cloaked in suburbia. Hargrove pleading one bad day. Harlan recessed for deliberation. The wait a knife edge. Outside, protesters chanted, "Justice for ramps! Justice for love!" Gabriel and Logan at the center, hands entwined openly now. Whatever happens, Gab murmured, we've already won hearts. Deliberation stretched to evening, the sky bruising purple. When Harlan reconvened, his voice boomed, guilty on all counts. Vandalism, with hate crime enhancement. Sentence, 6 months. Community service. Restitution. Karen's wail pierced the air as bailiffs led her out. Cheers erupted. Logan buried his face in Gabriel's neck, tears hot and freeing. But victory tasted bittersweet. Driving home in the van, wipers slapping flurries, Logan voiced the shadow. Tom's still out there. The board. What if they push us out? Gab glanced over, hand on his knee. Then we build our own board. You, me, the Patels. Real community. That night, snow blanketing Willow Creek like forgiveness. They made love, not with urgency, but with the slow reverence of survivors. Gabriel's whispers in Spanish wove through Logan's sighs, a tapestry of Te amo and you're my everything. Dawn brought calls. Elena offering pro bono for a countersuit against the HOA. But deeper, the betrayal festered, Tom's testimony a knife twist. Logan dreamed of the crash that night. Twisted metal, Gabriel's face superimposed, calling him back. Weeks blurred into strategy sessions. The countersuit targeted Tom's petition as discriminatory. Elena's team digging emails proving collusion. Gabriel designed flyers, Willow Creek, inclusive or extinct, plastering them on every lamppost. Rallies swelled, drawing queer elders from Raleigh's Pride Circuit, disabled vets sharing war stories. Logan found his voice in op-eds for the NNO. My ramp, my rights, and why love fears no paint. Yet cracks showed. Anonymous calls, slurred threats about cleaning up the street. Gabriel's freelance gigs dried. clients citing distractions. One night, over cooling pasta, Gab cracked. What if I take that job in Charlotte? Better pay. Fresh start. Logan's fork stilled. Away from here? From us fighting. Gab's eyes pleaded. For us. To protect what we have. The words hung. A chasm. Betrayal anew. Not Tom's, but possibility's shadow. Logan wheeled to the window, snow melting into slush. I thought we were in this together. Gab crossed the room, kneeling. We are. But love means sacrifice. Lo. Sometimes it's me bending. They talked till midnight, tears and truths forging steel. Stay, Logan finally said. Fight with me. Gab nodded, sealing it with a kiss that tasted of salt and resolve. Spring teased with crocuses as the HOA hearing loomed, Tom's ouster on the line. Logan prepped testimony, Gabriel by his side, their bond the unyielding ramp beneath it all. Petals scattered like confetti across Willow Creek's lawns as the HOA hearing convened in the community center, a squat brick building that reeked of lemon pledge and old grudges. Logan wheeled through the double doors, Gabriel a step behind, the room's murmur dying like a held breath. Rows of folding chairs held the usual suspects. Mrs. Patel dabbing her eyes with a tissue, Mr. Jenkins nursing a thermos, and in the front, Tom Ellis, flanked by Hargrove, Karen's disgraced lawyer sniffing for redemption. The air hummed with anticipation. This wasn't just about bylaws. It was reckoning. Elena had coached them. Stick to facts. Make em feel the human cost. Logan nodded then. But now, heart thumping, he felt exposed, chair spotlit under fluorescent glare. Gabriel squeezed his shoulder before taking a seat, his presence a silent "You've got this." The interim board chair, a no-nonsense retiree named MS. Hargrove, no relation to the lawyer, thank God, called order. We're here to address discrimination claims against former President Ellis and the board's handling of Mr. Hayes' ramp installation. Tom spoke first, voice oily as ever. Your Honor, Madam Chair, this is a witch hunt. The petition was about aesthetics, not prejudice. Willow Creek's values are family-friendly, and Logan's choices have polarized us. Choices. The euphemism landed like a slap. Murmurs rose. MS. Hargrove rapped her gavel. Mr. Ellis, evidence suggests otherwise. Emails coordinating with MS. Whitaker to block the ramp, citing lifestyle concerns. Care to explain. Tom blustered, red-faced. Out of context. We worried about resale. Elena interjected from the audience, voice slicing. Resale for whom? Straight couples? Or anyone who sees two men holding hands as a deal-breaker? Gasps. Tom sputtered. Then it was Logan's turn. He rolled to the podium, microphone adjusted, gaze sweeping the room. 3 years ago, I bought into this dream, a home where I could rebuild. But from day one, it was clear. Disabled? Tolerated. Gay? Questionable. Together? Criminal. He recounted it all. The stares at barbecues, the friendly advice to tone it down, Tom's backroom deals exposed in Elena's packet, emails joking about the fairy in the chair. The room recoiled. Mrs. Patel wept openly. Tom was my friend, Logan pressed, voice cracking just enough. He promised support after my accident. Instead, he signed off on hate. Gabriel's eyes met his fierce. loving, fueling the fire. This isn't about one ramp. It's about every kid in a chair, every couple hiding rings. Willow Creek can be better. Or it can crumble. Thunderous applause as he wheeled back. Even skeptics shifted uncomfortably. Witnesses piled on. A young mom testifying to Tom's snide comments about alternative families. Mr. Jenkins grumbling. Man's a bully behind a badge. Hargrove tried damage control, but it flopped, crosses met with eye rolls. Recess brought chaos. Hugs from strangers. Tom cornered by reporters. Gabriel pulled Logan aside, into the courtroom's dim hush. That was poetry. Lo. You dismantled him. Their embrace lingered, breath sinking. Felt like puking, Logan admitted. Gab chuckled. Lo. But you didn't. Proud of you. The kiss that followed was tender. A stolen oasis, lips brushing with the promise of homecomings yet to come. Afternoon brought the vote. Ouster unanimous. Tom stormed out, muttering curses. His reign ended in a whimper. Ms. Hargrove announced reforms. Diversity training, ADA audits, a queer-inclusive events committee. Cheers erupted. Logan and Gabriel at the epicenter, hands clasped high. Victory tasted like vindication, sweet, sharp, with a chaser of exhaustion. But shadows lingered. That evening, over victory tie takeout on the porch, Gabriel's phone buzzed. Charlotte offer renewed. Doubled salary. They saw the news, he said, fork pausing. Say it's a sign, bold talent wanted. Logan's chest tightened. And us? This momentum. Gab set down his pad CEW. It's tempting. Stability. For our future house. Trips. Maybe even. He trailed off. I soft. Adoption dreams. Whispered in pillow talk. The conversation stretched into twilight. Fireflies winking like conspirators. I get it, Logan said finally, wheeling closer. The grind here threats. Lost gigs. But leaving feels like letting them win. Gab nodded. Conflicted. It's not surrender. It's strategy. They talked circles. Roots versus wings. Love versus logistics. By moonrise, no resolution, just a pact to table it. Focus on healing. Weeks later, summer heat blanketing Raleigh. The countersuit settled out of court. HOA payout for emotional distress. Policy overhauls. Logan poured into advocacy, speaking at Pride events, co-founding a local disabled queer network with Gabriel's designs blazing on merch. Their life bloomed. Lazy Sundays at the Eno River. Gab sketching while Logan read Hemingway aloud. Date nights at the Improv Theater. Laughter echoing old wounds closed. But betrayals echo haunted. Tom's wife filed for divorce, blaming the scandal, blaming Logan, in voicemails that slurred "You ruined us." Guilt gnawed. Gabriel noticed. Hey, that's on him, he'd say, pulling Logan into movie marathons, Brokeback for the tears, Moonlight for the triumph. One night, post call me by your name. Vulnerability spilled. What if I'm the curse? Logan murmured, head on Gab's lap. Accident. Then this mess. Dragging you down. Gab's fingers stilled in his hair. You're my spark. Lo. The accident. Fate's crapshoot. Choice. Best one I made. Fall painted the oaks gold as Charlotte's deadline loomed. Gabriel wrestled visibly, pacing, sketching frantic. Logan watched, heart fracturing. The offer symbolized escape, but staying meant roots in tainted soil. A weekend getaway to the Outer Banks decided it. Crashing waves, boardwalk cotton candy, nights in a beachfront cottage where they danced. Logan in his chair, Gab twirling him under stars. I turned it down, Gab confessed over sunrise coffee. We're building here. Our way. Relief flooded Logan. But so did fear's whisper. What next betrayal? As they drove back, radio humming Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. Logan squeezed Gab's hand. To us, he toasted with a thermos lid. Unbreakable, yet winter whispered warnings. Anonymous letters arrived. Leave while you can. The network grew, but so did pushback, HOA holdouts grumbling at meetings. Logan dreamed of Tom's face morphing into the drunk driver's, accusation in his eyes. Gabriel held him through it, murmurs of Estoy Aquí a lullaby. Climax brewed at the holiday light ceremony, Willow Creek's big event, now inclusive with a rainbow tree. Logan emceed, Gabriel handling lights. But as Logan rolled on stage, spotlight warm, a figure emerged from shadows. Tom, disheveled, bottle in hand. Liar, he bellowed, lurching forward. Chaos, screams, security swarming. Gabriel vaulted on stage, shielding Logan as Tom swung wild, fist glancing Gab's jaw. The punch landed like thunder, Tom's rage unspooling. You stole my life. Neighborhood hates you. Cops dragged him away. DUI. Assault charges stacking. Logan knelt by Gabriel, ice from a cooler pressed to his swelling cheek. You okay? Gab winced, grinning. For you, always. In the aftermath, as lights twinkled mockingly, Logan addressed the crowd, voice steady. This is why we fight. Not for hate's defeat, but love's endurance. Applause thundered. Hugs enveloped them. But in the van home, Gabriel's silence spoke volumes. Bruise blooming purple, he finally said, maybe Charlotte wasn't wrong. This place. It breaks people. Logan's heart plummeted. Betrayal's cruelest cut. Not from foes, but fatigue's toll on their bond. The bruise on Gabriel's jaw faded to a sickly yellow as Thanksgiving approached, a patchwork of purples mirroring the storm clouds over Raleigh. Willow Creek bustled with turkey trots and leaf piles, but inside Logan's home, tension simmered like overboiled gravy. Gabriel moved through days with mechanical cheer, designing holiday cards for the network, stringing lights on the ramp with defiant flair, but his eyes held a distance, a fracture Logan traced like Braille. Tom's assault had been the tipping point, not just physical, but a seismic shift. If they can touch him, what can't they take? They hosted a small Friendsgiving, Mrs. Patel's curry, Mr. Jenkins' pecan pie, Elena regaling with lawsuit war stories. Laughter flowed, toasts to ramps and rainbows, but Logan caught Gabriel's forced smiles, the way his hand lingered on the doorframe as if plotting escape. Later, dishes soaking, Gab cornered him in the kitchen. We need to talk. Lo, the words hung heavy as humidity. Logan dried his hands, wheeling to face him. About Charlotte? Gab nodded, leaning against the counter, defeated Superman. Not leaving you. But maybe. Space. A trial run. I go for the gig. We video call. See if distance clarifies. Clarifies. The word eviscerated. Space? After everything. Logan's voice rose, cracking. Tom hits you because of me. And your fix is running. Gab's eyes flashed hurt. It's not running. It's breathing. This war's consuming us, your speeches, my bruises. I love you, but I need to know if love's enough without the battlefield. The argument erupted, accusations flying like shrapnel. Logan hurled Tom's betrayal. He chose hate over friendship. You're choosing fear over us. While Gabriel countered with exhaustion's truth. I'm not fearless. Lo. I bleed too. Plates clattered. Voices echoed off walls. It ended in silence. Gabriel grabbing his keys. I'll crash at Patel's. Think. The door clicked shut. A guillotine. Logan sat frozen. The house echoing vast and empty. Tears came then, hot, unbidden, for the boy who'd wheeled into love thinking it invincible. He texted Elena, Gab's pulling away. Advice? Her reply pinged swift. Give him grace. You've both been warriors. Warriors need rest. But grace felt like surrender. That night, sleep evaded. Dreams twisted Tom's punch into the crash. Gabriel's face dissolving into taillights. Morning brought frost-laced windows and resolve. Logan drove to the community center, unannounced, where Gabriel volunteered for the food drive. Gab looked up from sorting cans, surprise softening to sorrow. Lo! Logan cut him off, voice raw. Don't go. Not like this. He wheeled closer, ignoring stares. I get scared too. Every glare, every letter, it's the wreck replaying. But you're my forward motion. Without you, I'm stuck. Gab's throat bobbed. And if I stay, what? More Toms? More paint? Logan reached for his hand. Then more us. Building, not just battling. They talked in whispers amid canned beans, fears unpacked like luggage. Gabriel's immigrant parents' warnings about sticking out. Logan's terror of abandonment echoing his ex's exit. We're not them, Gab said finally, thumb tracing Logan's palm. Trial run off. But promise me therapy. For both. Relief crashed like waves. They emerged arm in arm, volunteers clapping awkwardly. Holiday lights ceremony redux. No assaults, just joy, queer carolers, disabled dancers. Logan and Gabriel emceed together. Banter light, bond mended in public view. Winter deepened. Therapy sessions in a cozy Durham office peeling layers. Logan's anger at his body. Gabriel's guilt over not protecting him. Progress stitched them tighter. Date nights at the art museum, where Gab sketched Logan amid Monets, whispering me muso. The network thrived. Workshops on allyship. Pride floats for the fourth. But betrayal's ghost lingered in small ways. A board member's snide email. A neighbor's averted gaze. Spring bloomed with renewal. Elena's firm offered Logan part-time advocacy work, leveraging his story. Gabriel landed a local contract, graphics for a queer film fest, roots deepening. Yet climax loomed unexpected. Karen's appeal hearing, whispers of her turning over new leaf via prison ministry. Logan debated testifying. Gabriel urged caution. Don't give her power. The hearing packed the same courtroom. Karen transformed, hair pulled back, eyes downcast, flanked by a public defender. I've repented, she testified, voice quavering. Anger issues, rooted in my own losses, husband's affair, empty nest. Logan's complaints triggered me. Hargrove, hers now, pleaded reduced sentence, community service instead of jail time. Elena's rebuttal scorched. Repentance without accountability is theater, she called Logan. Wheeling up, he faced Karen's gaze. First time since the spray. You called me freeloader. Queer. Like slurs define me. But I'm a survivor. And your trigger? That's on you. Karen wept. Harlan denied appeal. Sentence upheld. As she was led away, she mouthed sorry, genuine, performative. Logan didn't care. Closure tasted like rain-washed air. Post-hearing high faded into normalcy's grind. Gabriel proposed, casual, over rooftop beers at a Raleigh bar. Ring from a pawnshop etched with always forward. Marry me, Hayes. Make this official. Logan laughed through tears. Ruiz, you're stuck with me. Engagement party at the Patels. Toasts. Dances. Tom's absence a silent victory. But summer storms brewed deeper conflict. Anonymous leaks hit the network's inbox. Forged emails proving Logan exaggerated the vandalism for clout. Trolls amplified grifter gay trending locally. Gabriel's contract soured. Client cited reputation risk. It's sabotage, Gab fumed. Pacing their living room, now shared. Boxes half unpacked from his move-in. Logan scrolled comments. Gut churning. Tom? Out on bail. Nursing grudges. Investigation pointed fingers. Tom's drinking buddy. A bitter ex-board member. Confrontation came at a gas station. Logan refueling the van. The man sidling up. Heard you're playing victim again. Logan wheeled square. Truth's not a game. Back off. The man sneered. But backed down. Gabriel arriving like cavalry. Phone recording. The leak died under scrutiny. But scars itched. Gabriel withdrew again. Sketches piling untouched. What if we're toxic to each other? He confessed one humid night. Rain lashing windows. Love shouldn't hurt this much. Logan pulled him close. It shouldn't. But it heals too. Remember the beach? Gab nodded. Breaking. They cried together, vulnerable, unarmored, vowing deeper boundaries. Weekly check-ins. Hobby nights sans activism. Fall harvest brought harvest of growth. Wedding plans sketched on napkins. Vows drafted with therapists' input. Willow Creek softened. New families waving rainbow flags. Ramps sprouting like wildflowers. Yet betrayal's final twist waited. Tom's suicide note. Mailed postmarked from a motel. You won. I lost everything. Guilt crashed Logan anew. Gabriel held the funeral at bay. His choices, not ours. In the quiet after, they scattered ashes at the Eno ritual of release. Humanity's messy, Logan said, hand in Gab's. But we're the good mess. Leaves crunched under the van's tires as Logan and Gabriel drove the winding path to the Eno River State Park. Tom's note folded like a lead weight in Logan's lap. The air was crisp with that North Carolina autumn bite. Pumpkin spice and wood smoke. But inside the cab, silence stretched taut as a bowstring. Gabriel's knuckles whitened on the wheel. Hazel eyes fixed on the road. While Logan traced the envelope's creases. The words you won searing like acid. Tom's end wasn't their fault. Elena had insisted over crisis coffee the day it arrived. Bail or not. He was spiraling long before the ramp. But facts didn't dull the blade of what if. They parked by the river's edge. Water murmuring over stones like half-heard apologies. Gabriel fetched the urn. A plain brass thing from the coroner's office. No ceremony for the uninsured, and they walked the path. Logan's chair navigating roots with practiced ease. He hated loose ends, Logan said finally, voice gravelly. Guess this was his bow. Gab paused, setting the urn on a flat rock. Doesn't make it right. Blaming you? Us. That's cowardice. The scattering was simple. Ashes swirling into eddies, carried downstream toward the sea. No prayers. Tom hadn't been the church type, just shared stories. Logan recalled poker nights, Tom's terrible bluffs and worse dad jokes. He laughed at my first adaptive bike ride. Called me Iron Man, Gabriel added. Softer. Saw potential in people, even if he couldn't handle change in himself. Wind whipped the remnants away, leaving them hollowed but lighter. On the drive back, Gabriel's hand found Logan's thigh. We're not carrying him anymore. Winter wedding fever gripped Raleigh. Fairy lights and evergreen boughs transforming Willow Creek's community center into a queer wonderland. Invites went out rainbow-stamped. Mrs. Patel as officiant ordained online. Beaming. Elena as best woman. Mr. Jenkins DJING Motown Classics. Gabriel's suit was midnight blue. Logan's charcoal with a pocket square embroidered forward. Vows exchanged under a chuppah borrowed from a Jewish neighbor, symbol of shelter, echoed their journey. In crashes and cans of paint, you've been my ramp, Logan said, ring sliding onto Gab's finger. Through shadows and storms, you're my light, Gab replied, sealing it with a kiss that tasted of forever. Honeymoon in the Smokies. Cabin porches, mist-shrouded hikes where Gabriel pushed Logan's chair along trails widened for access. They talked legacy, adopting a kid someday, maybe fostering first. Teach him resilience, Gab mused, carving hearts into bark. And love without borders. Back home, married life unfolded domestic and divine. Grocery lists co-written, arguments over thermostat settled with rock, paper, scissors. The network evolved into a non-profit. Logan's op-eds syndicated nationally, from spray paint to solidarity, reclaiming suburbia, but conflict's embers glowed. Spring brought Karen's release, parole for good behavior, whispers of her joining a support group. A letter arrived, handwritten on lined paper. I was broken. Your strength showed me mirrors. Forgive? Logan read it aloud to Gabriel over breakfast. Genuine? Gab shrugged. Buttering toast. Doesn't erase the hurt. But humanity, yours, might let it fade. Logan filed it away. Not quite forgiveness, but space. Climax crested unexpectedly. A national news crew from CNN, profiling the snitch ramp heroes for a disability pride segment. Filming day dawned chaotic. Cameras in the driveway. Reliving the vandalism with actors, no Karen cameo. Thank God. Logan narrated fluidly, Gabriel adding quips. Their banter gold for edits. Airing prime time, it exploded. Calls flooding the nonprofit. Donors from coast to coast. Willow Creek basked. New residents citing the progressive vibe. Old-timers nodding approval. Yet betrayal struck from within. During the buzz, Logan's phone rang. Elena, voice tight. Compromise in the air? Board leak. Someone's shopping your settlement details to tabloids. Queer activists' payday spin. Stomach dropping. Logan traced it. A junior volunteer. Resentful over past promotions. Feeding tips for cash. Confrontation in the center's back office. The kid, 20-something with a man bun, crumbling under Elena's glare. It was just clicks. Thought you were grifting. The sting burned. Trust shattered again. This time by youth's cynicism. Logan wheeled out, fury boiling. How many times? He vented to Gabriel that night, pacing the bedroom. We pour in, and it's knives. Gab pulled him onto the bed, arms encircling. Not all. Most heal. This one's a scar. They mourned the idealism lost, vowing vetting processes, but deeper recommitting to boundaries. Protect our peace, Gab said. The world's war, home's haven. Summer solstice brought healing. A retreat with the network. Cabins in the Piedmont where queer disabled folks shared circles. Stories of rejection. Reclamation. Logan facilitated. Gabriel facilitating art therapy. Sketches turning pain to portraits. One elder, a vet in his 70s, gripped Logan's hand. You boys remind me. Love's the real ramp. Lifts us all. Tears shared. Bonds forged. Fall deepened colors as anniversary neared. 1 year married. 3 since the spray. They revisited the Outer Banks. Boards rented for sand. Waves crashing symphonies. Over bonfire crackle. Gabriel pulled an envelope. Thick. Official. Adoption inquiry approved. First steps. Logan's breath caught. A family. Gab nodded. Eyes shining. Ours. But winter's chill carried one final shadow. News of Tom's old buddy. The leak source. Facing charges for harassment. Tied to the gas station run-in. Closure. Karmic and quiet. Logan watched the report. Gabriel's head on his shoulder. Full circle, he murmured. Gab kissed his temple. And we're still rolling. Humanistic threads wove through. Fundraisers for ramps citywide. Logan's book deal wheeled into love. A suburb's reckoning. Gabriel illustrated. Covers bold with intertwined ramps and rainbows. Willow Creek transformed. Diversity plaques. Ally marches. Yet the heart was personal. Quiet mornings. Gabriel's coffee strong. Logan's edits read aloud. Evenings tangled in sheets. Whispers of dreams. One snowy eve. As flurries danced past the window, Logan turned to Gab. Think we'd do it again? The fight. Gab smiled. Slow and sure. For this, every time, their kiss lingered. A testament. Love not despite scars, but through them dramatic, emotional, unyieldingly romantic. Snow-blanketed Willow Creek in hush, turning the once-battled suburb into a postcard of peace. Ramps dusted white, flags limp in the calm. Logan and Gabriel's home glowed from within, strings of lights framing windows where laughter spilled like mulled wine. It was their first holiday as official family in waiting. The adoption paperwork a stack on the kitchen table, promising a child to fill the rooms with chaos and joy. Mrs. Patel bustled in with samosas. Mr. Jenkins trailing with eggnog. Spiked. For medicinal purposes. The gathering a mosaic of survivors. Elena debating case law. Young network members sharing TikToks of pride floats. Logan wheeled through the mingle. Gabriel's hand brushing his nape, a casual anchor. To new chapters, he toasted. Glass raised. Cheers rippled. Eyes met across the room. Love's quiet code. But beneath the cheer, reflections stirred. The spray paint's anniversary loomed next week. A ghost date marked with therapy check-ins. We made it, Gabriel whispered later, as guests departed, snow swirling outside. Logan leaned back into him. More than that. We remade it. Spring unfurled with the home study, social workers touring their adaptive haven, grilling on support systems. Strong community, the assessor noted, eyeing the ramp's fresh paint neon green, reclaimed as pride. Gabriel's nerves jangled, foster to adopt uncertainties, but Logan's calm steadied. We've built empires from vandalism. This, breeze, Approval came in May. A sibling pair, boy and girl, ages 5 and 7. Histories nodded with loss. First meeting at a park. Wary eyes, tentative hands, melted into playground chases. Gabriel pushing swings while Logan spun tales of superheroes in wheelchairs. Summer christened them family. Eli and Mia Hayes Ruiz. Bedrooms painted with murals of oceans and stars. Nights blurred into lullabies, Gabriel's Spanish rhymes, Logan's guitar strums, amid spills and story time. The network adapted. Family events, peer groups for queer parents. Willow Creek embraced. Neighbors dropping casseroles. Block parties with kid zones. Yet parenting's conflicts emerged. Eli's nightmares echoing Tom's rage. Mia's questions about why daddy's legs don't work. Logan fielded with honesty. Accidents happen. But love, that's our superpower. Betrayal's last echo faded with Karen's letter, second one. Post-release. Volunteering at a shelter. Learning empathy the hard way. Blessings to your family. No reply needed. Logan shared it at a support circle. Catalyst for others' forgiveness. Gabriel's designs went national book tour posters. Nonprofit logos affording a van upgrade. College funds seeded. Fall's Harvest Moon lit their second anniversary. Outer Banks Redux. Kids in tow. Sandcastles crowned with ramps. Eli asked, Daddy Logan, tell the paint story. Logan obliged. Softened for tiny ears. A mean lady tried to mess our home. But we fought with friends, with love, and won a better place. Mia clapped. Gabriel winked. And now, epic. Climax's gentle crest. Logan's book launch in Raleigh's City Plaza. Crowd swelling under autumn leaves. Readings drew tears. Passages on Gabriel's Hand in the Storm. Ending in Q&A where a teen asked, How'd you not quit? Logan glanced at Gab. Kids fidgeting beside. Because quitting means they win. We choose joy. Messy. Human joy. Winter wrapped them warm. Holidays with extended kin. Gabriel's Miami family flying north. Abuela's tales bridging cultures. New Year's Eve. Fireworks blooming over the neighborhood. Logan pulled Gabriel aside on the porch. Remember the hook? That morning. Paint dripping. You holding me? Gab nodded. Breath fogging. Worst dawn. Best anchor. Their kiss snowflaked. Kids' giggles inside a symphony. Years blurred forward. Eli's soccer games. Adaptive league. Mia's art shows echoing Gab's flair. The nonprofit span states. Ramp forward. Chapters in suburbs coast to coast. Logan keynote TEDx. Voice booming. Disability isn't deficit. It's design. Love, the ultimate accessibility. Gabriel illustrated the talk. Slides alive with their story. Ramp as metaphor. Heart as compass. Betrayals? Faded footnotes. Tom's note framed as cautionary. Karen a distant volunteer. Conflicts arose domestic. Teen rebellions. Work-life tugs. But resolved in family huddles. Therapists on speed dial. Humanistic core pulsed. Acceptance not endpoint, but evolution. Willow Creek. A beacon, pride crosswalks. Ally oath sworn. One crisp December morn. 8 years post-paint. Logan wheeled to the ramp, now etched with kids' handprints in rainbow. Gabriel joined, coffee steaming. Think she'd believe it? Lo mused of that dawn. Gab grinned. Karen? Nah. But us? We wrote the ending. Kids burst out. Snowballs flying, Eli's aim true. Mia's laughter wild. Logan caught one. melting cold on warm palm. In that chaos, love stood unbowed, dramatic in trials, emotional in depths, romantic in glances, humanistic in grace. Not perfect, scarred, wheeled, wonderfully real. The American dream, they'd spray-painted it their own.